Hola chicos, so right now we're going to talk about asking questions in Spanish, the ways we form the questions. And in Spanish, there are four main ways. Now, there's clearly lots of different ways to ask a question, but we're going to stick with these four main ways, and we're actually going to focus more on the third and the fourth way. But let's start off by talking about the first one. First way to ask a question about your tone of voice. And we'll get more into details of this later, but how we change the way we speak. Like, we're having pizza today versus we're having pizza today. So we change our tone of voice to ask a question. Okay. Another way is by adding a tag word. Okay. That's a word we end to the end of a sentence. So like, we're going to the store, right? Or she's doing that, isn't she? So we kind of add that extra boom tag at the end of the sentence. 3 and 4 we're going to focus on most. This is going to be what's a little more complicated for us. We're going to talk about yes, no questions. Okay, next, no questions. And how we use inverted word order. Which you don't realize you do in English all the time. There's just a place that's going to be a little different for us. And the last but not least, using question words. Okay, using question words. Or we have that fancy term, interrogatives. Okay, or interrogativas. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and start with the easiest ones, tone of voice. All right, so let's focus on tone of voice. Tone of voice, very straightforward, and we'll throw the tag words up there too as we get there. But tone of voice is very simple. You take a statement, just say it like a question. I'm going to back this up because I have an extra space here for some bizarre reason. All right, so instead of saying, hay una biblioteca en la ciudad, straight across, okay, it becomes a question. Hay una biblioteca en la ciudad? See how I raised my voice at the end, and I took these exact same words in the exact same order, and I simply made it a question. And that's very straightforward and simple to do. Tag words, another very simple, straightforward way to do it. You take a statement like we did above, but rather than raising your voice at the end of the statement, you just do it simply at the end and you add a tag word. So for example, Ava is going to the restaurant, isn't she? Well, to say isn't she, or it might be different. It could be isn't he, or it could be aren't they. Okay. We are simply going to add in the word no. Okay. Ella va al restaurante. No. And then that becomes your question. Let's use the example here below. All right. Here's another one. Instead of saying isn't she, or we could also, like I said, do isn't he, or aren't we, or aren't I, you could use why are you all the way over here? That's weird looking, but whatever. Ustedes van al parque, or y'all are going to the park, right? All right. In Spanish, the word we have that we use for right would be verdad. Okay. You're going to the park, right? Now, I didn't capitalize my V because it's not the beginning of the sentence. It's the beginning of the question, which is also why my question mark you will see with these is in the middle of my sentence, or actually closer to the end, than at the very, very beginning. You're going to encapsulate the question in the inverted question marks, not the sentence. So because ustedes van al parque is our statement, and the verdad, that's our question, that's where the question marks go. And it's okay to do that in Spanish. We are going to move on. I know I did that rather quickly because I want to spend the most amount of time on yes/no questions and using question words. This is going to be the most complicated for us. So what we're going to focus on here is in Spanish, you will see that we are going to place the something after the something. When we make a statement, we take our Tomás, and Tomás would be our subject. And then Tomás is doing something. In this case, what he's doing is being, and he is being in the park. Tomás is your subject. Está, is your verb. Well, notice what's happened here when we ask a question. All we did is instead of saying Tomás is in the park, we said, is Tomás in the park? We do the same thing in English all the time. You simply change your verb and your subject in the sentence as far as when they're located. That's your syntax. That's what makes it different. All right. So, ¿está Tomás en el parque? Rather than Tomás está en el parque. We do this in English all the time. Look down here. So let's do some examples. Is, there's your verb. Whoops, I don't want her to be blue. I want her to be green. Green means go, so that's your verb. Ana is your subject. So we're going to make her blue to show that. Okay, so is Ana and the dentist? Well, let's do it the same way you would do in Spanish. I'm going to copy this because it makes it a little bit faster. So it's the same verb because I'm talking about her location. So I'm going to use está. Está who? Well, my subject, Ana. And where is Ana going to be? She is going to be en el dentista. Wait a second, senora. We always said en meant in or on, and right now I translated it as at. You betcha I did. So here's the deal. In Spanish, we use a as at for when we're talking about time. So a las cinco. But if we're at a place, it's the same as being in that place. So we use en. You can translate it as at. That's fine. But you are going to use en instead of a. If you say a to a place, or in this case, we can't say a el dentista because you know you'd have to make it al dentista. Now a doesn't mean at anymore. Now it means to. So we're going to a place. So if you're at a place, you're going to use en. All right, let's do another at one because it makes things a little bit easier to do some extra practice. We are going to change this to green because there's my verb. We are going to change this to blue because they is my subject. All right. So are they at the library? We do this exact same thing in English. We put are they at the library, verb subject to. So we're going to do this. Boom, boom. Está, but it can't be está. It's going to be están. Están who? Well, our subject is ellos, they. Now it could be ellas. I'm just defaulting to masculine right now. And where are they? They are at the library. And there it is, la biblioteca. Oh my goodness, teca. Okay. Están ellos en la biblioteca. Are they at the library? So you see what we have done, and I'm going to put it up here now because I didn't do it before. We're going to do this now. We are going to put our subject. Subject, if I could spell, that'd be great. I say that at least once a video. I know I do. Okay. We are going to put the subject after, and I'm going to make this green. Green means go, the verb. So the subject, let's make this nice and bold to make it stand out good. The subject is going to go after the verb. So normally we say subject verb. In this case, we're going to say verb subject. Here's where things get interesting. You see this word do? Well, the helper words do and does do not translate to Spanish. Okay, they just don't exist as helper words for questions. So to form the question, we are going to, look down here, eliminate the word do or does. We are going to get rid of it. And then we are going to switch the subject and the verb. See, here it's written as a statement. Now it's you, there's your subject, need, there's your verb. That's a statement. Well, in order to make it a question, we just need to flip it. So what we're going to do is flip-flop these two words here. We're going to change them around, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull out my pen to show you how I do this. Bump, maybe, bump, yep. All right, let's pull out my pen. So what I'm going to do is I am going to flip-flop my do and my need. So we are going to flip these around. You is going to go here and need is going to there. We are simply going to switch the order of the subject and the verb. Okay, so instead of you need a pencil, we are going to make it need you. So let's get my question mark up here. That way I don't have to pull up my special keyboard. I don't know why my control commands aren't working with that. So need would be necesitan. Ooh, I don't know what the cap lock. Well, in this case, we'll do necesitas. We'll assume you is tú. So now I have my verb front, just like I want it to be. And then you can do your subject tú. All right, we're going to be T, U. I got to pull up my special keyboard to get my U accent mark up there. That's not what I wanted to do. Bum, bum, bum. There it is. Okay. Wait, where'd it go? I really wanted you to be there. We're going to try that again. Let's get my U up there. Hey. Hey, there it is. Okay. Necesitas tú, so need you. And then we have the rest of our sentence. A pencil, un lápiz. I got to pull my special keyboard again to get my A accent mark. Boop. There it is. So necesitas tú un lápiz. So what we've done is simply eliminated the word do, flip-flopped the subject and the verb to put them in the order we need them, and then moved on with life and did the rest of our question. All right, last part. Using interrogative words for open-ended answers. So yes-nos are like yes-no answers. Right now, we are going to focus on how we use question words. So question words themselves. So the first thing you all need when starting off with a question is an inverted question mark, clearly. Okay, and that's going to be what goes with the question word. So question word goes first. Okay. We're going to follow that with the same thing we did above, inverted word order. We are going to put our verb first, and then we are going to add in our subject, and then we'll just happen to add in anything else that happens to come along with the question and top it off with a question mark. So for example, we could use like, what do you... No, let's do this one. Let's say like, where are the boys? Let's use the one that's in our example below. So where are the boys? So our question word, I'm going to copy this little question mark here. Get down here. Okay, where would be your donde. All right, I'm going to need my upside down question mark, or my upside down, my accent mark in there. Donde. We're talking about where they are located. So that's going to be están. We are going to need an A accent mark on there because that's what makes a star so special. It has an accent mark where they normally would not be. ¿Dónde están? The subject in this case would be los chicos. And let's say that we added in, if there was extra stuff, that doesn't have to be, but let's say we wanted to make it where are the boys today. We'll just add in hoy. Okay? There doesn't necessarily have to be anything in this purple box. It can be where it is. So where are the boys would be ¿Dónde están los chicos? As it is. Let's go ahead and down here, let's go and do some more examples. So why is Juan at the hotel? I don't know why he's there, but let's find out. So we are going to need our upside down question mark. I'm actually going to pull up here and I'm going to steal one and copy it so I don't have to keep pulling up that extra keyboard. Let's do, whoops, hey you. Okay, let's throw it in there. Let's do why. So por qué. Por qué. That E has that upset or that accent mark of E. Boop. Por qué. All right. Is Juan. That's what we need. It's the right order, which is a good start. Está. Let's pull up my A accent mark. Okay. ¿Por qué está Juan en el hotel? There it is. All right, let's try one here. Who is the teacher in the class? Who? All right, well, start off with a question mark. Our word for who is quién. Accent mark goes over the E. A lot of people get confused on that. It is over the E. You can hear it. Quién. Whoops, quién. I threw an extra E in there. We're going to get rid of that. Bam. ¿Quién es, let's say, el profesor en la clase? Boom. All right. We're just going to back this up a little bit so we can fit everything in one line. It's fine. And then let's do a with whom do you study? Oh, with whom? Well, we don't have a question word for with whom. Yeah, you do. All right, you're going to firecopter it. There it is. What's your word for with? Con. Now you have who, in this case, changes to translate to whom. I'm going to copy the rest of this so I can do a little faster. Yeah. Okay, with whom? Do. Uh-oh. What do I do with do? Well, remember, do does not exist. Get rid of it. Now I've got you study. What am I going to do? I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip-flop this around. I'm going to flip-flop. I'm going to put, whoops, I want my pen. Boom. There we go. I'm going to put the you in front of study. I'm going to put study behind you. I'm going to flip those guys around. Okay? And use inverted word order. You're going to put the study first. Estudia, well, estudias. And then we are going to use tú. We're just going to assume you use tú unless I otherwise specify that you are being formal. ¿Con quién estudias tú? So there you go, friends. All right. I'm going to go through this. So here we go. There you have it. That would be all of your asking questions in Spanish. You know where to find me if you need extra help. I'll be en clase. Adios.